ninja skills are very simple.
I should show you the room back there with the people and the boxes of the clean.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
You can go take one for yourself.
Did I tell you about at work I asked for Kleenex? Like they buy all these like sodas and things, and I was like, I have money on Kleenex, and they were like facial facial tissue. I was like, yeah. So apparently the rules are it can only be a drink related expenditure. So because they're not drinks or cups. I don't make the rules.
I always have them in my office because like sometimes the kids come in and they're like sniffly and
Oh yeah.
I mean I use them half the time. But Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Tonight we have a very special service, and for those of you that are joining us online, yes, you will be seeing the same slides that we are following tonight. We're actually not using our regular prayer book. We're using the special slides that have been amazingly designed by Sam tonight for this service. So, and we have a wonderful group of participants tonight in honor of JDAME, which is the Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusivity Month, and this is our service tonight. So we'll have Mimi join me up here as we join in this opening song, Hine Matov. That is your mic.
Now
Make it your mic. Hine matov umanai shevet achi my pleasure to call up Nancy Gale and Zelda Curtis to lead us in our next reading.
You're not doing candles first?
We're going to get there in a moment. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You, yes, you deserve accommodations. Deserve isn't the right word, really, but you say you don't deserve them, so no, you do deserve them. Accommodations aren't about being deserved or not. They're not about you being worthy of what you need. They're not about you being good enough. You don't deserve accommodations because you have the right to accommodations. No matter how much you think that you're not disabled enough, no matter how much you compare yourself to others, you, yes, you, should get every accommodation you need. You've been taught your entire life that accommodations are for the weak, that you're giving up, that you just need to try harder. No, this is for you. This is making things equal. You aren't weak for asking for taking what you need. You are strong for being a disabled person, living disabled, demanding that we do not need to just try harder when there is no harder to try. You are strong for finding what the things are that mean you can do what you want to do. You are powerful. Accommodations are not weak. You've been taught your entire life that you aren't disabled enough to compare yourself to others. But what about those people? You aren't them, don't need the help they need. You're either taught that you're better than them or that you're taking from them for requesting accommodations. But you're disabled too. You can live your life as who you are instead of trying to pretend you are abled, trying, fighting, failing.
You aren't better than others because of what help you need being different, but you can find the help you do need. You can ask. You can get those accommodations. You aren't stealing them from others by getting what you need. There's not a limited supply of accommodations where once they're used up, they're gone. People making the world more safe, more accepting, more accommodating is helpful, not harmful. You are disabled enough. You don't need to look at others and say that because you can do things others can't, you need to try harder. You need to do more. You don't need to fight to do everything always. You are disabled enough. Everyone needs help sometimes, and everyone needs to turn to others. And you can say, I can't do this. And you can say, just give me this accommodation. You, yes, you deserve accommodations. You hear the messages of how inspiring this person or that person is, of how much everyone does, of how great people are. You hear the messages of how hard you need to work if you just try a little harder. But you can say, let me be me. This isn't for me. And you can have accommodations. You hear the messages of who you are supposed to be in other people's eyes. But who you are doesn't change. And you, yes, you can and should still request accommodations.
Thank you both.
Yeah, you're welcome.
To lead us in our next reading, I would like to invite up Tanya Bass and Kelly LaBelle. Or just Tanya.
That all may worship. As God creatures, we are fashioned uniquely, each endowed with individuality of body, mind, and spirit, to worship freely the one who has given us life. Each of us has abilities, each seeks fulfillment and wholeness. Each of us has disabilities. Each knows isolation and incompleteness, seeking shelter from the vulnerability we all share, claiming our promised place in God's household of faith. We are transformed by invitation, affirmation, and love. In grateful response, we worship and serve God, the source of hope and joy, celebrate and serve one another, rejoicing in our diversity. Transform and serve the world until we become a community which reflects God's oneness and peace. Let the house of God be open to all who would enter and worship.
Thank you. And to lead us in This We Believe, invite Carolyn Turner and Lynn Rubinson. Yeah, she's on her way.
If there are barriers of attitude, communication, or architecture for anyone, the foundation of the house of God is weakened for all.
Every person is created by God, each is loved by God, and none should be diminished by another, even by unintentional actions or words.
God may see wholeness of spirit where our imperfect vision may only see brokenness of body or mind.
Rather than being a burden, shared need and vulnerability should be recognized as the glue of a supportive community.
Under distracting service traits, there is the essential person created by God.
Fortunately, God does not use intelligence or rate of growth to measure faith.
God knows our abilities and our potential.
God longs for us to respond lovingly with all that we are and to be all that we can be.
God frequently works through the unexpected.
We need to listen, persevere in spite of inconvenience, and remain open to creative solutions and opportunities.
Shabbat shalom. Oh, I don't have it. I'm sorry.
Okay. All these candles give light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
And as we kindle these lights, thank you so much. We invite up Mara Kaplan and Sam Scobell to help us usher in the light of Shabbat. Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. We join in these words of Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShavet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShabbat, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShabbat, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When Debbie Freeman wrote this, she used the Sephardic tradition, a tradition that is welcoming in itself. So instead of using the traditional Ashkenazic word Seitchem L'Shalom, we use the Sephardic tradition Shuvchem L'Shalom, that the angels shall not depart and leave, but that we welcome them back week after week after week. Shuvchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShabbat, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Words of Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala, ba'gala, uv'izman kariv imeru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'alam ulal me'al mahiyam. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha v'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen. We rise in body or in spirit as we join in our Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. We join together in Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochenbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'v'hisharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We move to these words of this song of freedom, our song Michamocha. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. Who's like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Like you, Adonai. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Like you, Adonai. Who is like you, Adonai. To lead us in our next reading, it is my pleasure to call up Eli Kurzlasky.
On becoming friends with a non-disabled person. I like making new friends. It's comforting, in any degree, to feel seen by another person. My newest friend and I met in a ceramics class in Santa Barbara last fall. She had a clever one-liner to something our teacher said, and I tried to subdue my laughter by staring down at the cup that I actually intended to be a bowl. She was standing in front of me when I looked up, so I blurted out, "Can we be friends?" She smiled, and we met for drinks a few nights later. As I walked to the bar, I was nervous. It was a familiar feeling, a well-tended knot that forms in my stomach whenever I know I should have the talk. If it comes up, be cool. If it doesn't come up, make it come up because she's probably wondering about it, and you'll feel better, I told myself. I was born with cerebral palsy, a physical disability that affects my legs and forces my knees inward when I walk. When I reach for a dress at Target, an apple at a farmer's market, or a paperback at a bookstore, I readily notice non-disabled strangers holding their gaze on my gait. I register a mix of fear, confusion, and pity in their eyes right before they meet mine. And the second that they do, I smile and say hello. I don't always make this choice, but when I match that stare with a greeting, most strangers soften, and it makes me feel like I'm no longer on display. "I'm sorry you have to do that," my oldest friend said to me recently about this habit for the 1,000th time. We call it being a disability spokesperson. To care about a disabled person is to grasp all the ways in which the world was designed for non-disabled bodies. It's why people stare, after all. Staring is a silent reminder of how the disabled community has been systematically discriminated against for generations. It's an othering. Even 30 years after the passing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, we are still mocked, forced, or killed out of public life. This occurs from childhood to adulthood and affects our access to education, housing, employment, and healthcare. The ADA recognizes disability in the eyes of the law, not in those of society. When I have the talk, it's to invite non-disabled friends to take a view of the world that disabled people know too well. It's when I let someone in on the most vulnerable detail about me, how I gain access to public life, in the hope that I can trust them to listen. I say, my leg muscles tighten with pain if I move too much or too little. I can do most of what a non-disabled person can do, but sometimes it takes a little creativity. As our friendship deepens, they'll seek out benches for me to rest on and get equally annoyed when elevators aren't as easy to find. They'll notice the steps into storefronts, the mere inches between restaurant tables, and the precarious vagueness of when an outsider says, "It's a short walk." Suddenly, getting around the world is measured in energy and obstacles, not just in distance and time. My friends also start to spot how strangers can stare, and how they can talk through me or at me like I'm a child. Eventually, friends will echo my words. She's not inspiring if she's doing exactly what you're doing, or we all have needs, there's no such thing as special needs. Last summer, my oldest friend got married on a snow-capped mountain in June. As her brother and I made the slippery walk to the ceremony, he asked the best question I think any non-disabled person has ever said to me about my disability. How can I help you do what you're already doing? In one sentence, he recognized my autonomy and was ready to participate in what I know best.
Thank you. We join in this prayer asking for us to find peace on this Shabbat evening, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Shomereinu Lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Shomereinu Lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Shomereinu And these words reminding us of the importance of Shabbat, V'shamru. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם בארץ עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בארץ עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בארץ עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בארץ עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם. It's my pleasure to call forward Joan Stein to lead us in our next reading.
Hey, if you're disabled or chronically ill and have a hard time standing, I want you to know that it's okay to sit down when able-bodied people wouldn't or aren't, not just in the context of using a wheelchair, but just whenever. Pull up a stool in front of the stove when you make mac and cheese. Kneel on a chair in front of the sink when you're washing dishes. Going outside to smoke or wait for a cab? Pop a squat on the sidewalk, curb, or stoop. Get a shower chair. It's not weird or shameful to minimize your pain, and it's not worth wasting spoons or energy just because other people would do it standing up.
Thank you. And with that, we will rise in body or spirit as we move into our standing prayer, the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotzeinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham Ve'Zerat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech nofelim ve'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, Umekaye umemunato elishene afar, Bichamocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nehemana talachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kidoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh. It is my pleasure to call up Sam Scobell for our next reading.
Asher Yatzar for Disabled Liberation. Blessed are you, our God, divine presence, Holy One, Shekhinah, who in your infinite wisdom formed the universe and within it each unique human body. You created each of us, B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of the divine, and crafted in our bodies openings and cavities, pathways and connections. The bodies you created for each of us sustain us through the mysteries of their creation and the inspired work of medical assistants, which supports your works, and these bodies have brought us to this moment. Whether that sustenance comes from the air around us or from oxygen tanks, food grown in the earth and eaten with the mouth, or brought to our digestive system through a port, and bodies voiding through openings or catheters, we are sustained, alive, and able to be present here before you. May we still honor and nurture our bodies if they cease to work in the ways society expects them to, for we know that even disability is still a part of a body made in your image. May we hold to the knowledge that our uniqueness and survival are two of your many miracles which you have made us a partner in creating. May the day come when each of our unique, beautiful bodies is valued and supported equally in your world, when our disabled bodies are recognized as B'Tselem Elohim, and when this knowledge allows the creation of a truly liberated world where all your creation may thrive joyfully before you. Blessed are you, source of life, who created the abundance of our means for survival and thriving.
Thank you. We join in these words of peace. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam. For our next reading, it's my pleasure to call forward Lenore Wasilio.
They say I'm articulate. If I think about all the words that stay locked in my throat, and I give a small and terrified smile and look over their shoulder and into nothing at all. I'm really quite lucky I have such a command of language. There are maybe 5 people in the whole world I can talk to face, without wanting to die, without having a panic attack, without needing to hurt myself or sleep for hours afterward. 2 of them receive speech therapy. None of them I know obey the usual laws of dialogue. I know that really I'm lucky to have anyone at all. My verbal agility is a sign of something, they're sure. when I'm trapped into a conversation in the kitchen of someone else's home, I stare at the table and see nothing at all. My throat closes and my ears ring, and the world is small and distant and hot, and I am agile because adrenaline alters our capabilities. I'm really quite social. If I am asked, "How are you?" I will always say fine. If you ask me anything at all, I will throw as many words as I can in your general direction. I can have quiet hands, but the loudest mouth. I'm very advanced, and for my next trick, I'll even ask, "What's up with you?" I can answer every question you might ever have, except for, "What do you need?" or "How do you feel?" or "Do you want anything?" or "Is this okay?" I can request independently and answer yes/no questions reliably. I can request independently because I never make requests, which means independence, which means I must not have to, but I could if I did, right? But if you ask me if I need help, I will say no. And if you ask, as my hands fly around my ears and my shoulders go light and small, if I'm okay, I will say yes, because I can't say no. And if I could, it would mean more talking and less space. And I will say anything at all to get you to go away until my brain is my own again. I am verbose and prosaic in my speech. I am as helpless to stay silent when you speak to me as I am to move when I need to do laundry. I freeze, staring at my dirty clothes, and every cognitive break I own clamps down because I can't, because there are too many steps, because this has been the summer of laundry wars, and I have lost. But there are no steps at all in unhinging my jaw and going somewhere very far away and echoing, reciting, and remixing scripts about why I'm not in school and what I did this summer and why we deserve human rights until the tape runs out. I have such a good grip on the English language and such a poor grip on reality, going somewhere still and quiet and out of my head while my mouth turns tricks for you. I'm never told I'm impolite or out of place or off script. Bad, too serious, perseverative, disconnected, hateful, boring, too enthusiastic, dogmatic, of course. All of those. And that's just for talking about a show I like, even without stepping on anyone's toes. For being happy, for getting excited about something, for trying to share, for saying something that wasn't an answer to a question. But everything's fine, and I'm very polite. I'm very well trained. I can say whatever you ask of me. I'm very obedient. I'm an acceptable autistic. I never disagree with you to your face, and you'll probably never hear about it because the gore in my stomach when you tell me I must be very high functioning gets pulled down by the fear of quiet hands. And you must not understand. And I know putting yourself in other people's shoes is hard for you. I'm a forgettable autistic. As a child, I didn't cry when I broke my wrist, which meant I didn't feel pain. I read about social skills when I was bullied, so I wasn't mistreated. I didn't cry when I was abused, so it wasn't abuse. Now I tell you it's fine and I walk away. And maybe I sat in a hallway for 2 hours the other week, unable to remember how to stand. But I can tell you I'm fine, so I must be. I'm articulate, so you don't have to listen. This reminds me a lot of my son with autism.
Thank you. Our thoughts turn to those who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit as we think of them for our Misha Berach. We think especially of Alex Botkin, Dana Green, Mel Kaufhold, Robert Sonnenberg, Tony Linder, Rosalind Richmond, Helene Kessler-Burke, Gary Kaplan, Ruth Moritz Allen, Ann B., Stanley W., Rose D., Max N., Addie Kurtanich, Lynn Kronzek, Adele Kennell, Jane Siegel, Albert Ferretti, Craig Oberman, Paul Pitts, Elizabeth Rogers, Rachel Kudrick, Carol Ferretti, Olivia Hibble, Murray Reinwald, Rabbi Gershon Friedland, Jack B., Arlene Drucker, Gertrude Lewis, Samuel Kaplan. If you are thinking of anyone tonight that you would like to include in this blessing, anyone of any faith or tradition, please feel free to share their name at this time as I face in your direction. We join together. Misheberach Avotenu Mekor Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Sheberach Imotenu Mekor Habracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, a renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Just check to make sure that we didn't miss anybody online. Elizabeth Rogers, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofe HaCholim, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who heals those in need of healing. And we turn now to share those things that are happening in our lives that are inspiring, and the good things that are happening are simchas. So I will come around, and if anybody has anything to share, we'd be more than glad to hear. Start on this side for a new tradition.
My daughter and son-in-law and my 6-year-old grandson and almost 5-year-old granddaughter are here for 3 days, and it is very noisy. And I am loving it.
Excellent.
In 6 days, I will celebrate the 40th anniversary of my silver birthday.
Right, Mazel Tov.
I'm going to piggyback Mimi's news that my niece and nephew and great niece and great nephew are in town.
Excellent.
Taught Shabbat went super well.
Excellent.
I've gotten the chance to meet all of you great people the past couple weeks since moving here.
Welcome. We're glad to have you here with us. What? Oh, yeah. All right. Secret messages, right?
We got a new car today.
Ooh.
It's awesome.
What kind of car is it?
It's the Kia Carnival.
Excellent.
It's really awesome.
Did you give it a name?
Carnival.
My granddaughter is coming for 2 days from Korea.
Mazel tov.
I'm participating in this service.
Thank you to you and everybody who has participated so far. You've made it extra unique.
My good friend Sam is winning the Shore White Hill Award tomorrow, and her wonderful parents are here, and she didn't want to say it, so I had to say it for her.
We'll have more to say about that a little later.
So it's very good news that we are having a Kugel cook-off next Sunday. So sign up online if you want to show off your Kugel recipe. And if you don't feel like baking, then come and eat, please.
All right. Danny was reminding me to not forget the people on Zoom. We'll see. Judith and Chuck have celebrated their 55th wedding anniversary last Friday. Mazel tov. Aya has her 10-year-old granddaughter is in a string concert on Tuesday night, and they're going to watch her online playing the viola. And Rabbi Sarah Perman is leaving for New York and then on to Israel next Friday. Nesiya Tova. Join in this upbeat celebratory melody for Ose Shalom. Ose Shalom bimroma v'huya ase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. It is now my pleasure to invite Mara Kaplan to share with us her inspiring words for this special Shabbat.
Let's not have this fall over on me. This week's Torah portion opens with the commandment to the Israelites concerning the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts from me from every person whose heart so moves him. The text then lists the numerous objects that are needed for the tabernacle and its furnishings, including precious metals and dolphin skins. Only then will God's presence dwell among the people. Traditional rabbinic interpretations spend a whole lot of time dissecting the text and answering obvious questions such as, how did a bunch of ragamuffin ex-slaves have precious metals? And how did anyone get his hands on dolphin skins while wandering in the wilderness? Well, guess what? I'm not going to answer those questions tonight. You're going to have to go to Rabbi Feldman's Talmud class. Instead of this literal meaning, I want to look at a more symbolic meaning. I believe that what this parsha is telling us is that in order to create a community where God dwells, it demands that we include each person. We accept what each individual brings to our synagogue, our school, our organization, and regard it as the precious gift that it is. Just as each gift was equally necessary to complete the tabernacles and its furnishings, so too is every gift each person brings to this community. For only then can we be sure that God will dwell among us. That is the essence of Jewish Disability Inclusion Acceptance and Awareness Month. It is about recognizing each person's gifts, celebrating them, and realizing that we need them to make Temple Sinai what it is. In past generations, no one would have seen my son, Samuel, as having any gifts to bring. But on mostly musical Shabbats, Jen, does he bring good things? So he brings his smiles, and he brings such happiness to the congregation. Another person who's always here on mostly musical Shabbat is Tammy Kozowski. She brings her incredible gift of enthusiasm. She knows all the words to the songs, and she sings with gusto. But what I look forward to the most is her heartfelt Shabbat Shalom as she gives me a huge hug. It makes my week every time. So many people tonight bring us tremendous gifts all year long. Eli gives us the gift of being a superb writer and editor. Later, I will share our new vision statement he helped create. Eli and Lenore give us the gift of understanding what life is like for a neurodivergent person. Joan reminds us of the importance of engaging everyone at ONAG by paying attention to people's food allergies. Carolyn gives us the gift of remembering how to balance mental health and your volunteer work. And Sam and Tanya and Lynn constantly give of their time, even when they are in pain or exhausted, because they know that being here and doing here helps them forget the pain for just a little bit. In October, 35 people came together to give their gift of time and insight at a disability inclusion strategic planning session. These were people that sit on the disability task force, people with disabilities who are not on the task force, including students from our religious school, and many disability allies. We spent over 2.5 hours examining what we had accomplished in the last decade and what we still need to work on. Many positive things came out of that session. With the help of Eli and Sam, we have crafted a new disability inclusion statement that you were all handed when you came in tonight. I'm going to give you a quick summary of it, and then you can read it in full later. The Disability Inclusion Committee of Temple Sinai embraces the core values of Temple Sinai to create an inspiring, innovative, inclusive environment. We foster a community that regards disability inclusion as essential to our broader success and growth. We believe that in order to create a fully inclusive environment, we must set our focus on the importance of inclusion and accessibility, while enabling members to cultivate a meaningful connection with God, our traditions, and one another. We need to have a safe, inviting, and supporting environment that is also accessible. All members should have the opportunity to choose what they want to participate in, not what we choose to make accessible for them. We need to make sure that everybody can learn at their own pace, and that our leadership keeps inclusion in mind when making important decisions. The vision statement wraps up with these words: Temple Sinai aspires to lead the nation in disability inclusion and set a standard for other Jewish organizations to follow. In order to do so, we believe we must champion the voice of our disabled members. Inclusion is an active, dynamic, and collaborative process that relies on us recognizing that we can always do better, and we should continually work to do so. The vision statement and the work at the strategic planning session has already begun to bear fruit. I want to share with you 3 things that have happened since October. First of all, although this may sound counterintuitive, we disbanded the Disability Task Force. After all, a task force seems like a short-term initiative, while a permanent committee seems more in line with our Shema statement. Further, how we were spelling disability with a capital A for ability is now considered condescending language. Therefore, we now have a new permanent committee called the Disability Inclusion Committee, just saying it like it is. Like the task force, the membership comprises people with lived experiences and allies. When we were discussing membership of this committee at the strategic planning session, it was brought up that we need, hold on one second, I need my props, that we need more allies to join the committee. Do you know about the spoon theory? This theory says that people with chronic illnesses and disabilities are given 12 spoons every morning. A spoon recognizes amount of energy. People spend their spoons as they do their tasks, and when the spoons are over, so are their ability to do anything. On some days, it takes 1 spoon to get up in the morning and get dressed and take a shower. But other days, it takes 2 spoons, or 3 spoons, or even 4 spoons, leaving you only 8 spoons to get through the next 12 hours. Now you're telling yourself, Mara, you have really got off on a tangent. It's interesting, but what does this have to do with the price of bread? Well, I have a point. If our Disability Inclusion Committee is made up primarily of people who use up their spoons just on daily living, there might be a lot of enthusiasm to move inclusion forward, but no energy to do so. So we need people who have spoons left at the end of the day. We need disability allies. We need you to join our new committee. And if you have a spoon or 2 to share, and you feel that this work is important, come talk to Sam and I. We want you to join our committee. Second, since the strategic planning session, we have created a disability inclusion fund. And I'm so pleased to inform you that an anonymous donor stepped up and made a matching grant of $5,000 to start the fund. The money will be used to start a new program to transport people to Temple that Sam is going to plan. It will let us bring the sign language interpreter more often. It will let us replace our fidget toys and anything else that ensure individuals can attend, participate, and engage meaningfully in any and all programs. Now, the thing with matching grants is they have to be matched. Luckily, we're halfway there, but obviously we need to go all the way. So I'm asking you to consider making a donation in this fund in honor of JDEM or in honor of Sam, and that you consider designating this fund when you make donations to honor or remember your loved ones into the future. The last thing I want to tell you about is that we have set a goal to design for the margins. Designing for the margins means that you design for the people at the very end of the bell curve. Many of you might think, well, that's all well and good for the people with disabilities, but you're spending time and energy on things that don't matter to me at all. Well, I would disagree, and so does the research. Designing for the margins has shown over and over again to improve the environment for everybody. Let me give you a couple examples. We have a goal to improve streaming here at Temple so that we can stream in every room of the building and anyone can participate. But that means not only the people with disabilities who struggle to get here, but also our snowbirds and people who don't want to come out on a wintry, snowy day. And I wrote that before I saw the weather forecast. Have you ever thought, here's another example, have you ever thought that the doors to the bathroom are a little heavy here? I am seeing a lot of yeses. Well, we brought this up at the committee and Joan said, well, until we raise money to fix the doors, we can just loosen the hinges and it will make the doors lighter. So you know what? We did. It wasn't that hard. And now they're easier to get in. So back to the Parsha. It does take all of our gifts to build the community in which God dwells. I hope you will consider the gifts you bring. Will you consider giving your time or money to foster genuine inclusivity and create a safe, inviting, and supportive environment that allows everyone to participate fully? I truly hope so. The Disability Inclusion Committee has one more gift to give: the joy of dance. Please join us tomorrow night at 7 for our JDEM dance party. As I've said before, our amazing Sam Scobell, who planned tonight's service, will be receiving the Shore Whitehill Award. And then, even better than that, she will be leading her students in dance. Following that, a professional, nationally renowned wheelchair dance troupe will be joining us from Cleveland. And we will end the evening with our own Matt Mahan spinning the tunes so we can all join in the dancing. Come and join us. It's going to be fun. Before I sit down, I must thank a few people for their gifts tonight. Thank you to our sign language interpreter who makes our service more accessible to everyone. And thank you to Cantor Reinwald and to Sam for putting together such a meaningful service. And to all of the readers who participate, I appreciate you tonight, and I love all that you teach me all year round. I want to thank our greeters, Ann Alter, Susan Blackman, Risa Rosenthal, I think that was all of them, and all of our Oneg bakers for making Temple a welcoming place to be. And finally, I want to thank all of you for your continued support of Jewish Disability Inclusion Awareness and Acceptance Month. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and one extra thank you to you, Mara. Thank you for all that you do for all of us here at the temple, and we are so appreciative. As you have heard, there is an amazing event happening tomorrow night. We hope we will see many of you there. It's not supposed to be snowing then, so the roads will hopefully be clear. You can find more a list of many more things that are happening on the announcement sheet that you got when you came in tonight. Tomorrow morning we have, as per usual, 8:30 in the morning, we have our Torah study, and at 9:15, our Shabbat morning service, which Rabbi Jamie Gibson will be joining me. Actually, tonight is his birthday, and so in honor of his birthday, he's leading the service tomorrow. So come in, that's what he wanted to do. So come in, celebrate with him. It's a significant birthday that I'll let him share about. And we'll see you all then. For now, we will continue with our service with the Aleinu. I'm about to announce a page number, but I don't have to do that. So, right, please rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו הוא אחד. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss and of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember those recently departed: Norm Kind, Audrey Rubin, Stan Jonas, John Lomax. And we remember those whose time of yahrzeit has come: Sophie Auerbach, Greta Coleman, Morris Denmark, Sam Diamond, Robert Glazier, George Goldberg, Rebecca Hamburg, Doreen Heller, Ida Kaplan, Abraham McKay, Bert Kosis, Betty Krause, Dr. Harry Levin, Erwin Levin, Rachel Levin, Bertha Levine, Edward Lewis, William Martin Lowenstein, Margie Malakoff, Melvin Mann, Belle March, Anna Goldie Perlman, Linda Pelkofer, Joseph Porter, Ben Portnoy, Andrew Pratt, Evelyn Reb, Martin Rosenfeld, Irma Rothschild, Shirley Rubinson, Pauline Brenner Sablowski, Louis Pete Schwartz, Samuel Schwartz, Renee Skoratow, David Siegel, Alice Krasicki, John Carl Schlesinger, Sadie Smith, Eli Spungen, Sally Stein, Stephanie Stella Way, Fedora Weinsweig, Philip Zinn. If you are remembering anyone tonight for Kaddish, anyone who I have not yet mentioned, please feel free to share their name at this time. And on Zoom, Mike Conrad and Art Krieger. We rise as we join together in these words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh me Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehesh lama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, amen. We join together in this closing song written by Dan Nichols, celebrating that we are all made in the image of God, B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 We all got a life to live. We all got a gift to give. Just open your heart and let it out. We all got a piece to bring. We all got a song to sing. Just open your heart and let it out. Yeah, when I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. We all got a tale to tell. We all want to speak it well. Just open your heart and let it out. We all got a mountain to climb. We all got a truth to find. Just open your heart and let it out. Yeah, when I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Bereshit bara Elohim. Try that with me. Bereshit bara Elohim. Bereshit bara Elohim. All our hopes, all our dreams, Bereshit bara Elohim. Each one of us, B'Tselem Elohim, Bereshit bara Elohim. All our hopes, all our dreams, Bereshit bara Elohim. Each one of us, B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, when I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please join us in the auditorium for our oneg.